in my energy work experiences, the way one way of explaining some of the different energetic anatomy of different energy systems we have in our body is one structure that are called grids. So they're basically like kind of what they sound like. They're kind of the structural grids of like mainline energy systems that are at play in our system. And when super traumatic events can happen, they can break a grid within our energy system. So healing that grid is a process that can involve, like on an energetic level, repairing that damage, that structure. Usually there's some kind of a belief that was involved. And so as I've helped people to heal grid breaks, that's kind of what the process looks like. But after a grid is healed, a lot of people will prep and say, before they'll do grid work, they will do a lengthy preparatory process. Because when a grid, if you think about like a building, when a foundation has cracked, the building needs to stay upright. So if the foundation is like, everything in the building will adjust. Thinking about a dynamic building, it has limits, but right, the building will adjust all of its layers so that it's still upright. But you think about like your hips, if you move your hip, like your whole torso adjusts, and now you're still upright, but like everything is shifted. If you suddenly put your hip back, your body now is like this, now we have to do all the work to put things upright. So when we're setting foundational beliefs, those are encoded not just in our thought patterns and processes, but in our nervous system, in our energy system, in our foundation, because we're all connected. So that makes total sense to me. When we're not just going to go into a building and suddenly be like, oh, your foundation is off. Right. The buildings will fall over. Yeah. We have to understand, like, we're working with systems that have evolved and adapted into the way they are for a reason. There's a reason.
Yes. And usually when we're talking about trauma, that reason is survival. And so it becomes life and death, even when it's not anymore. That's what our body is saying.
Right. And that makes sense why when I invite a client to get on the sound bed and they start, I just watch them like melt into a puddle. It's like that vibration, those frequencies on the whole body system. It's like a huge dose of like, you are safe now.
Yes.
It kind of, I think also too, when I've worked with energy clients, sometimes when we're releasing trauma from the body, they'll shake a lot, that response like we see animals have after the danger is past and they've frozen or something, they get out and they shake a lot. And then they're like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Like we do the same thing. We just haven't never seen that be normalized, but it makes sense to me. A sound bed, like with all the vibrations, maybe is like just this little micro version of a lot of fast shaking to get some of that energy dispelled. That was that trauma energy, that like fight or flight from the nervous system, So they melt into a puddle and they're like, oh, that feels so good when they sit up.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool.